Hello friends. The British television series Downton Abbey was an instant hit when it debuted in 2010. Downton Abbey, a major hit on the small screen, but it was also transformed into movie magic. Starring Hugh Bonneville, Dame Maggie Smith and more iconic English actors. In this video, you'll see how have the actors of the movie Downton Abbey changed. You'll know their real names and age. I will show you how they looked then, in 2010, and what's with them now, in 2025. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's go. Hugh Bonneville as Robert Crawley, Lord Grantham. Born November 10, 1963. Hugh Bonneville played as Robert Crawley, Earl of Grantham, across the show's 6 seasons at 47 age. Lord Grantham loves his family's home at Downton and is set on doing what needs to be done to preserve it. By the time he was cast as the patriarch of the Crawley family, Bonneville was well known around the world. Though nabbing the spot on Downton definitely thrust him into the spotlight in a much more significant way. The role would net him 2 Emmy nominations and 1 nod from the Golden Globes. Bonneville separated from his wife of 25 years, Lucinda Williams, in 2023. Now he is 62 years old. Maggie Smith as Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess of Grantham. Born December 28, 1934. Dame Maggie Smith played Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess of Grantham when the series first premiered in 2010 at 76 age. Dame Maggie Smith sizzled as the true leader of the Crawley family, whatever her son's rank might have been. While Violet Crawley begins the series as a formidable force who insists on adhering to the social norms and standards she grew up with. Smith, a 2-time Oscar-winning legend with film and TV credits dating back to the 50s, hardly needed an introduction before joining the cast of Downton Abbey. She is likely most known nowadays for both the role of Violet Crawley and as Professor Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter series. She died September 27, 2024 at 89 age. Laura Carmichael as Edith Pelham. Born July 16, 1986. Laura Carmichael has played a middle sister to perfection. It's Laura Carmichael as Lady Edith Crawley at 24 age. Sandwiched between the responsible and glamorous Lady Mary and the sweet and empathetic Lady Sybil, Edith is intent on carving out an identity of her own, no matter the cost. Resistant to marriage and career-driven in a time when women don't have many options, Edith is a feminist inspiration who made mistakes, eventually owns up to them, and ultimately has the best interests of everyone she loves at heart. In 2021, Carmichael welcomed a son with longtime partner and Downton Abbey co-star Michael C. Fox. Now she is 39 years old. Elizabeth McGovern as Cora Crawley. Born July 18, 1961. Elizabeth McGovern joined the original Downton Abbey cast as Cora Crawley, Countess of Grantham at 49 age. As the mother of 3 daughters in a time when women have little power or say in their own lives, Cora Crawley is focused on her daughters' happiness and their journeys. Before joining the cast of Downton, Elizabeth McGovern was an established star who quickly rose to fame in the 80s. While starring on the show, she earned nominations for an Emmy, Golden Globe, and SAG Award. McGovern has been married to director Simon since 1992. Now she is 64 years old. Joanne Froggatt as Anna Bates. Born August 23, 1980. Joanne Froggatt joined the original Downton Abbey cast as head housemaid Anna Bates when the series first premiered in 2010 at 30 age. As Anna Bates, Froggatt enjoyed some of the show's most riveting, emotional, and heartfelt storylines that include the pursuit of love, marriage, and loss, all while tending to the needs of Lady Mary Crawley and the rest of the family. Her sympathetic portrayal earned her 3 Emmy nominations and a Golden Globe Award. In February 2020, Froggatt separated from her husband of 8 years, James Cannon. Now she is 45 years old. Alan Leech as Tom Branson. Born May 18, 1981. Age filming, 29 years old. Tom Branson begins Downton Abbey as one of the family chauffeurs and ends in a position of enormous power and wealth. And the journey between the two destinations includes a love story and many unexpected twists and turns. Alan Leech's character is notably unimpressed by the pageantry of wealth that surrounds Downton. Proud of his Irish background, and unafraid to stand up for himself and what he believes in. In 2019, Leech married actress Jessica Blair Herman, with whom he shares 2 children. Now he is 44 years old. Robert James Collier as Thomas Barrow. Born September 23, 1976. Robert James Collier joined the original Downton Abbey cast as footman Thomas Barrow at 34 age. Rob James Collier's junior butler Thomas Barrow is intense, focused, and at times crass and dramatic. He's worked at the home for more than a decade by the time viewers first meet him. And he's loyal to Downton and its family nearly to a fault. Barrow is hoping to work his way up to the position of valet, one that he almost secures until Lord Crawley brings in John Bates to fill the job instead. As a gay man in a time that's not receptive to whom and how he loves, Barrow is forced to pretend to be someone he's not. Now he is 49 years old. Michelle Dockery as Lady Mary Crawley. Born December 15, 1981. As the eldest daughter of Robert, the Earl of Grantham, and Cora Crawley, the Countess of Grantham. Michelle Dockery's Lady Mary Crawley is the heart of Downton Abbey at 29 age. The show opens with Lady Mary and her family facing a tragedy that also opens up her world. Her 2 cousins, one of whom she planned to marry to ensure her family's financial future, have died. Mary's character is initially selfish, but she's soon forced to grow, evolve, and nurture the person inside of her who cares about everyone else. Playing Lady Mary would ultimately earn Dockery 3 Emmy nominations and a Golden Globe nomination. She married Jasper Waller-Bridge, brother of multi-hyphenate Phoebe Waller-Bridge, in 2023. Now she is 44 years old. Jim Carter as Charles Carson. Born August 19, 1948. As the butler Charles Carson at 62 age, who is mostly known only by his last name. Jim Carter brought a sense of dependability and security to the show. Carson is arguably one of the closest people to Lord Grantham, and thus has incredible insight into the goings-on of nearly every aspect of the home he loves and tends to. He has great pride in his work, which left little time for a personal life. For his role, he earned 4 consecutive Emmy Award nominations from 2012 to 2015. He has been married to Imelda Staunton since 1982, and they share a daughter, Bessie Carter, who has followed in her parents' acting footsteps. Now he is 77 years old. Jessica Brown Finley as Sybil Crawley. Born September 14, 1987. Age filming, 23 age. As the youngest daughter of Robert and Cora Crawley, Sybil is allowed to experience life at a somewhat more light-hearted pace than her older sisters. But this doesn't mean Sybil isn't serious. In fact, of the 3 daughters, she is the most politically motivated and insists on treating the people who work at Downton as equals. When Sybil begins to develop feelings for the family chauffeur, Thomas Branson, she married fellow actor Ziggy Heath in 2020. Now she is 38 years old. Sophie McShera as Daisy Parker. Born May 17, 1985. Sophie McShera played assistant cook Daisy Parker in the series at 25 age, who begins the series as a maid but works her way up in the kitchen. Is the young widow of William Mason. Daisy often finds herself being bossed around rather harshly by the manor's head cook, Mrs. Patmore. And much of her character development is in learning to stand up for herself without losing the core of who she is. Now she is 40 years old. Brendan Coyle as John Bates. Born December 2, 1962. Brendan Coyle joined the Downton Abbey cast as John Bates at 48 age. The mysterious man who walks with a cane takes the position of Robert Crawley's valet, a role that Thomas Barrow was also vying for. As one of the closest people to Lord Grantham, Bates is also the eyes, ears, and heart of the home. Most recently, Coyle was recruited to reprise John Bates in the 2019 Downton Abbey film and again in its 2022 sequel. Now he is 62 years old. Kevin Doyle as Joseph Molesley. Born April 10, 1960. Kevin Doyle joined the original Downton Abbey cast as Joseph Molesley at 50 age. Assigned to Matthew Crawley as his personal valet, Molesley is left nearly despondent when Matthew eschews tradition and insists on dressing himself. Many rely on Molesley for work and life advice, and he notably tutors Daisy on her academic pursuits, a shift that ends up changing the direction of his life. Following the show's ending, he has appeared in several titles, including 2015's Happy Valley and Netflix's The Witcher in 2021. Now he is 65 years old. Dan Stevens as Matthew Crawley. Born October 10, 1982. Dan Stevens only spent 3 seasons on Downton as Matthew Crawley at 28 age, the lawyer and distant Crawley relative who becomes heir after the death of 2 family members. Resistant to life in the castle and unsure if it's really for him. Now he is 43 years old. Phyllis Logan as Mrs. Hughes. Born January 11, 1956. Phyllis Logan joined the original Downton Abbey cast as Elsie Carson at 54 age. It's clear that Mrs. Hughes is enormously important to the home of Downton Abbey and everyone who lives in it. As head housekeeper, Mrs. Hughes rules the roost and is seen as an impartial judge for nearly every emotional situation that occurs throughout the show's run. Mrs. Hughes finally gets the love she deserves, after having given so much of it to everyone around her. Toward the conclusion of the series, now she is 70 years old. Leslie Nichol as Beryl Patmore. Born August 7, 1953. Age filming, 57 age. As head cook. Many of Mrs. Patmore's scenes take place in the kitchen, where she's often seen fretting about meals and bossing Daisy around. While she might seem gruff on the outside, Mrs. Patmore has a heart of gold and, like many of her colleagues, has given most of her life to serving the household and the people who live in it. Now she is 72 years old. Lily James as Lady Rose Aldridge. Born April 5, 1989. Age filming, 21 age. Lady Rose is a cousin of Mary, Edith, and Sybil Crawley. She becomes more important in the series following Sybil's death, ultimately growing so close to the family that she names her daughter after Lady Grantham. Rose was played by Lily James. Now she is 36 years old. Penelope Wilton as Isabel Grey. Born June 3, 1946. Penelope Wilton played Isabel Grey, Lady Merton at 64 age. On behalf of the cast, she won 3 of 5 Screen Actors Guild Awards for Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Drama Series. Between 2019 and 2022, Wilton starred in the British comedy series Afterlife, created by Ricky Gervais. Now she is 79 years old.